heart and soul of the game is at the boxing voice. Ain't no other sight in the game could see the boxing voice.
BoxingVoice.com, live with ESPN's own Bernardo Osuna. Bernardo, first thing I want to ask is, have you ever been involved in something of this magnitude when it comes to boxing?
No, I don't think that in my lifetime as a journalist there's been something as big as this. I do remember the Mayweather-De La Hoya press conference. That was crazy out at the Man's Chinese Theater with Floyd bringing out that gold cage with the chicken inside and saying that was Chicken De La Hoya and all that stuff. But I don't think in terms of media presence, we've got SportsCenter here from 7 in the morning until 11 o'clock at night. It's getting unprecedented coverage. The digital media coverage is impressive. Social media. I think there's never been an event that I've been involved with that's gotten this type of overall coverage.
Now, there's been a lot of speculation as to whether or not Mayweather was pressured into this, how much Leslie Moonves had to do with making Mayweather take this fight. Do you believe that anyone made Floyd Money Mayweather take the fight, or he did this all on his own?
I think there was pressure. I mean, there was pressure from Moonves to Al Heyman, and therefore the pressure comes from Al Heyman to Floyd Mayweather. I don't think it came directly from Moonves to Mayweather. And yeah, Floyd could have said no, but at some point, when you're talking this ridiculous amount of money, it's hard to walk away from. I don't care how much money you make. I always said, man, if you tell Warren Buffett, who's a good friend of Floyd's, hey, I have a way for you to make $180 million in one night, Warren would say, where do I sign? And I think that's what finally ended up happening with Floyd. The public pressure, the fact that he knows he couldn't retire without facing Manny Pacquiao, and it all came together at the right time. The money is just so outrageous that I think that finally convinced Floyd that this is the time for the fight.
It's only a few days left to the big day. Obviously, we want to know your pick. Which way are you leaning, and what do you expect to happen?
You know, I've been assigned to the Manny Pacquiao camp, so I've really seen how hard he's worked. I know Floyd is the consummate professional. It's not even a question of how Floyd is going to get to the fight physically, mentally, emotionally. He's always ready to go. So we know what we're going to get with Floyd. But I think this version of Manny Pacquiao is at its peak. I mean, for what his age can give him. His legs are there, the explosiveness in his power, quick hands. But at the end of the day, you got to put it all together. I think he'll make Floyd fight. I believe that over the long haul, it's going to be real tough to win a decision against Floyd Mayweather. But if Canelo could get a split, that's what I'm going for. I think a split decision in favor of Floyd Mayweather, but not without having a lot of problems early on with Manny Pacquiao.
Now, do you think that if Manny wouldn't have got knocked out, would Floyd still be the favorite? Because, I mean, he was just on a tear for those last 7 years. And even with the hiccup with Marquez, some will call it more than a hiccup because, you know, he was out cold. But he's come back. Brandon Rios, Timothy Bradley, who's a pound-for-pound fighter. And then Chris Algieri, you know, some could consider him a novice, or you could give him a lot of credit for handling Ruslan the way that he did after 2 knockdowns. Do we still have that same version of Pacquiao? I mean, today on First Take, ESPN, Teddy Atlas was a guest, and he made sort of mention to the fact that Pacquiao was bigger 5 years ago, and now with the blood testing, he's a little smaller, and that, you know, that's just going off his eye. He's not insinuating anything, but do we have a different version of Pacquiao today than we did pre-knockout?
Yeah, I think both guys have changed. I mean, if you look at the way Floyd has bulked up for this fight, he's looking huge too. Manny's looking really strong. I mean, seeing him in the gym, he's very muscular and very quick. He's got those fast twitch muscles going. I mean, we don't know. Baseball will have an era that will be tainted. I don't know if boxing will have an era that has been tainted, and I don't know how accurate testing is. There's 2 different versions. One, you know, VADA test for one thing, WADA test for something else. So I don't know how reliable we can go with those sources, even in this fight. I mean, can we depend on the testing that's going on for this fight? How reliable it is? Is it in 10 years, or are we going to look back at this and say, man, that was horrible testing? So if someone wants to cheat, they're going to be able to cheat, I think. And I hope that's not anything that's involved in this fight. But both guys are different, definitely.
Do you think that there's been any difference, or actually, did you have any worry? Because you said you're, you know, been dealing with the Pacquiao camp. So was there any worry for you or the camp having Heredia and Ariza now on the Mayweather side when there was always so much negative press for both men as far as strength and conditioning coaches?
You know, I think the whole Alex Ariza thing was more of a distractionary tactic on their behalf. I don't, from what I've read of, Floyd Sr. is not too thrilled. So it's one of those situations where Alex will bring whatever he brings to the table. Heredia will bring whatever he brings to the table. And after all the accusations that Floyd made, towards Manny, I'm sure he's going to be extremely careful of anything he does because he knows that the microscope is on him. And he's been a proponent of clean boxing. So I don't see anything like that tainting Floyd's legacy. I think he wouldn't make that type of mistake. Perception is one thing. I don't know that he would go and do that willingly. So I just hope it's a clean fight. I hope that this doesn't even become an issue after the fight.
Well, I wasn't insinuating that, but more or less the perception. Do you think it was more like him getting pressed for the fight, knowing that it might be negative, but it's something where he's sitting back laughing? Maybe these guys aren't even doing anything. I mean, the most we've seen is pictures of him stretching Floyd and a picture of Heredia and Alex Ariza meeting up. We don't know really what's going on. Is this just Floyd Mayweather's mind games?
It could be. I mean, nobody else plays mind games better than Floyd. I mean, he can make you think whatever he wants you to think. So, it could be perception. I really don't read too much into it. Like I was saying, I mean, I hope it's a clean fight. Everything's on the up and up, and we get a great fight. That's what boxing needs, after all.
Well, thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy the fight.
Should be a good one. I hope boxing needs it.
All right, but thank you.
Take care.
Thanks.